warm welcome to Whisky.com, where fine spirits meet. Today we have a bottle, which is for quite a long time on the market, but it's quite new for me. So the Arran Quarter Cask, 56.2 ABV, unchill filtered, uncolored, in cask strength, is on the market since 2019, I think. And now the bottle has found its way here in my cask, and it's available at Whisky.com at a price of €49.90. If you're living in another country, there might be a little bit of 1, 2, 3 euros more in alcohol taxes. This Arran Quarter Cask carries the additional name The Bothy, and Bothy means, a small hut. And the whiskey was matured in those quarter casks, which are very small casks, because of the remembrance of the old time. In the 18th and 19th century, when there was a lot of, moving of whiskey casks through donkeys or mules, the typical cask had been far too heavy. So they filled in smaller casks, so-called quarter cask, with 125 liters, and that was the maximum for a donkey or a mule. Well, probably some of those had one cask on the left and one cask on the right, the very poor donkey or mule. So the whiskey behind is a regular Arran whiskey from the Isle of Arran. And in former times, the distillery had carried the name Isle of Arran. But then they omitted the Isle, and it's called Arran whiskey. And there they have several or different casks to mature. And with the years of existence, there are more and more casks which do not mature that intense. And so there is a kind of, finishing process necessary to bring them up to a good quality taste. And this happens even faster when the cask is smaller. So because then the content has a smaller relationship to the inner surface of the cask. So there's more inner surface per liter of the whiskey, and this means more aroma is carried or sucked out of the staves from the cask into the whiskey, and it matures faster. So the bigger the cask is, the slower the whiskey matures, and the smaller the cask is, in contrast, the faster the whiskey matures. And this one matured for 2 years in those small quarter casks. This is, equivalent to 4 years of maturation in regular casks, American standard barrel size. So this should give the whiskey an extreme boost. And these quarter casks, if I read it right, are fresh quarter casks. This is what I was able to read out of the data. And here they say natural cask strength and 46.2 ABV, non-chill filtered, natural color. And then there is the geodata location of the Arran, 55.7 degrees north and 5.29 degrees west. West of which? West of Greenwich, London, the observatory, where they moved the 02. Former times they had been in Paris, but they weren't able to keep that due to the British Empire. This is fixed. And then they switched to the imperial location. Here we go. Fruity, more or less a Speyside smell, fresh. And I have to remember this is 56.2, and the whiskey shows more how it's called vivity. So the whiskey is not that viscose. It moves lighter in the glass, and that's due to the viscosity of alcohol, which is a lot less than viscosity of water. Yeah, and fresh, fruity, light citrus note, little vanilla, and in the back a little citrus, little spiciness beside the citrus note. And I'm still able to smell alcohol, 56, quite a lot. Yeah, this time I did not forget the water. So we add a little bit. You see marks in the water. Water and alcohol does not mix immediately, so it takes time to mix up. And during this time you're able to smell a lot more. Yeah, it intensifies what I smelled before. So adding water increases the smell of this whiskey. Yeah, cheers. A lot of spiciness in this whiskey, and this is the oakiness. This comes from the oak. It's too short in the cask. It's not bitterness. It's spiciness, intensity, sweet vanilla mixing with exotic fruits, not only the citrus, probably some pineapple or apple, so lighter fruitiness, which might come from a younger whiskey, because those esters which carry the aroma of the fruits, they oxidize over the years and lead to, well, more mature, more older fruitiness, like dried fruit. This is part of the oxidization process, and this one shows not this strong oxidization over the years, so I think it's not too old. This is a intermediate whiskey between the Highlands Speyside fruitiness and the intense islands, and this is just in between, giving this fruitiness and juiciness and friendliness, together with a upcoming spiciness which does not carry long on your tongue. Well, I would say it's medium long aftertaste. Yeah, 49.90 euros here at Whisky.com, and I think for a cask length whiskey, for a finishing in quarter cask, this is a fair price. Thank you very much for watching. Catch you next time.